How's it going, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the Dudes and Belts Wrestling Chatcast. I am your host, Johnny Deathdrop, and boy, do we have a topic to talk about this evening. Before we get into such topic, of course, let's introduce... What is that?
Topic.
A topic?
Topic.
A topic?
Sergey!
God.
Johnny, nice shirt, by the way.
Oh, thank you. You too.
Thank you.
Nobody told me, dude. How come you guys didn't tell me? I wore my Adam Cole shirt today.
I tried to get you in a group call and you just wouldn't pick up. You were too busy doing whatever the hell you were doing.
I was refinishing bowling balls. I should have been thinking wrestling. What's wrong with me?
Yeah, because you like playing with balls. I get it. All right, here we go.
You got me.
You're welcome.
I hate you.
No, you don't.
Sergey!
I know I love you. Sergey!
Before we get into this topic, let's introduce the panel for tonight. On the left, we have the one that lives way up there on the east coast of Maine, the inventor of the Beacon of the Week, which, did we even do a Beacon of the Week last week? I don't think we did.
We did not.
Well, then we'll do it on the Dudes and Belts After Hours portion.
Okay.
But for anybody that's wondering, it was Sergey.
It was Sergey last week.
No, it was... I picked Aiden last week.
Sergey was this week?
That.
He didn't even do anything this week.
The week that he won the Reset Royale, which was 2 weeks ago.
That was the first one. That was the first Beacon of the Week.
And I don't know. We didn't have anyone last week. Wild card. All right, let's keep going.
Dudes and Belts After Hours, you'll find that out on twitch.tv/Rocky Mountain Pro. He is the inventor of the Beacon of the Week, the one and only Coastal Crusader.
Happy Sunday, everybody. It is a big week for us here at the Dudes. We got a lot going on. Got a lot of wrestling to talk about. And you'll hear us make some bowling references. That's going on this week. It's all kinds.
And on the right, we finally got over to the right. He is your resident masshole himself, the one and only, the guy who likes to play with the shiny balls, the one and only, the masshole himself, Marky Pins.
I don't like to play with him. I'm the guy you bring him to shine them up, eh? Grind them down, shine them up, give him the triple I, and let him do the thing with them, okay? Those are the way it works. People give me the money, I give them the shiny balls back. This is how it works. This is how you run a business, people. This is what you do. This is how it's done.
You're going to shine them up real nice. Turn them.
Then you turn it back over. Shine the other half of the ball real nice, right? You shine it real nice, and then you buff it all up, and then you stick it straight up triple I's candy ass, and then you call it a night. And all he did was fought it back out, so we're good.
That's about right. All right. Topic of the week.
Okay.
A lot of us sound Crown Jewel this past Saturday. This is Sunday when we are recording this live on Twitch.
Yes.
We know that there was a lot of decent matches during the course of this event, including Bianca Belair and Bayley, but what we really want to talk about is the main event, the one that we didn't even expect to see the outcome of, to be honest with you, and how the match was presented. The leader of the Bloodline, Roman Reigns, defending his title against the YouTube sensation himself, Jake Paul. Now, boys, your thoughts on this one, because I'm pretty sure that after this match, I'm pretty sure, at least between us and more than likely the wrestling community, Logan Paul has definitely earned quite a bit of respect after last night's performance. Well, yesterday afternoon's performance, technically. Your thoughts on this match, the way it was booked, the way it was presented, and the outcome?
I really liked it. Logan Paul's something special. He is a guy who has no business being as good in that ring as he does, but he's got all the charisma in the world. But man, is he an athletic talent and a specimen. He really loves the sport of professional wrestling, and you can tell because of the heart that he puts into it. And he understands the pageantry of it, if you will, as well. He understands everything about it. And it's nice to see someone who is an outsider, and I use quotes on that because he's not, in my opinion, anymore. He understands professional wrestling, and he's put the work in. The 3 matches he has had have been arguably the 3 best matches from someone outside of professional wrestling who's not an athlete. And I say that because Pat McAfee is an athlete, he's a professional football player. We've seen them transition many times into wrestling. Lawrence Taylor, same thing. Logan Paul's a YouTube guy.
Yeah.
Like, he is just, I'm glad to see it, because honestly, as much shit as people give him about being like an arrogant person, like, he just seems to genuinely enjoy what he's doing in the ring, and you can tell he appreciates it when he's in there. I'm just happy to see somebody succeed like this, because I'll tell you what, Marky, he put on a show of a lifetime yesterday. Got hurt in the process, we'll talk about that, but
that's part of leaving it all out there in the ring. You're halfway around the world, and you got millions of people watching at home and everything, people in the stands. That place was packed. And you were right. He put on a great show. He is amazing in the ring. He's been paying attention to this training. It's so blatantly obvious. And the pageantry element that you spoke of. A lot of people are doing, you're at training and you're learning the moves and you're trying to do the chaining of it. Logan understands the entertainment aspect of it from being an online personality. It is being an online personality like that, like a YouTuber for years. That already is yourself turned up to 12 or 15 as the aphorism goes. So he already has that element, and he was already kind of a dick. Like in his YouTube career, he was not a one of these like nice, happy-go-lucky people.
He's so over.
He was one of these shock jock type YouTubers. He was very much like the Howard Stern of YouTube, if you will. The Paul brothers were very much like that. They didn't do regular stuff. They did stuff that was so over the top, it was stupid. So they have that entertainment element down. They can get heat, or they can draw sympathy. They understand how to work people. And that's the other element of the professional wrestling business that a lot of people have to learn second. You can learn the moves and learn how to be good in the ring, but then learning that character is a lot of times where we see a lot of wrestlers make it to television and they're elite between the ropes, but they're a loaf of white bread when it comes to character. You know what I mean? Like, it's just there.
You mean John Cena in the beginning?
In the beginning. It gets the job done. It makes your sandwich, but it's really not, it's not like potato bread.
It's dry and yeah.
Right. It's not that extra element. The Paul brothers, both of them, Logan and Jake, both come in with this element of entertainment and understanding how to work a room before they even stepped in the ropes.
They were both there last night, too.
Correct. So this leads to outstanding possibilities. And if you think maybe in the future, maybe you think Jake Paul might not be one of the only ones of these guys. Because if you tapped the well once and you found a YouTuber that was in great shape, got himself working, but had the charisma and the talent, for these guys that have already been, look, being an online personality like a YouTuber or a streamer or an Instagram like model or whatever you do, that's all getting yourself over, right? Isn't it? Work in the room, getting yourself, like either being loved by the people so they want to watch what you do, or being despised by the people and they watch to see what you're going to do next.
Well, wrestlers have to do it anyway.
Correct.
And it raises an interesting point. Is this the new tape trading? Is YouTube the new tape trading? Because, like, for myself, when I was younger, I didn't know about ECW until I got my hands on a VHS tape of an ECW event. And then I was telling my buddies who were wrestling fans, like, you need to watch this. And so, in a way, YouTube is how these new guys may get over. People see them, they get a following. Like, social media is that new tape trading. I mean, and it's so important.
I would think, being somebody who's already like gone through some job, been in training for a little bit, I've watched how it goes. I see character training on some nights, physical training another night, blow up drills a whole nother night. But what I've noticed is a lot of times, even the more experienced guys that I train with, people who've been training for years longer than I've even seen a ring, they have more trouble on character night and promo night than they do when it's, ropes night or mat night or things like that. Picking up on the physical aspect of the game is completely one thing. Going with the mental aspect of working the crowd, being the face, being the heel, that's the more difficult part, because you're going to step out of yourself and become this other self that you have. And if you're sitting there the whole time just being you, learning the moves, you're not separating that and being this character that also needs to be seen. You might be a very interesting person. You getting in the ropes, doing the moves might look awesome. But if you don't have the ability to work a room full of people to either love you or hate you, they're going to be quiet. And you might get like the golf clap at like some beautiful victory roll type move that you throw. Squeeze that one in there. But at the same time, there's something sorely lacking with these Paul brothers and a lot of these YouTubers that have been on this for 5-10 years. They're still young. This is the thing. The average age of a 10-year-long YouTuber right now is like 28 to 32. And if you can get some of those people who are that good at getting themselves over, working character, and just more development of who they are to make their videos entertaining. Hey, man, if you get somebody with the love and the desire, it is blatantly obvious that the Paul brothers have been watching WWE and wrestling in general their whole life, just like we all have when we were kids. And the fact that this door opened for them, I'm telling you, Jake grabbed that door, whipped it open, and then kicked it off the hinges and said, I'm never going back. I said, and we have all said a lot of nasty stuff about Logan. Sorry, Logan. Excuse me. You know, people have talked the smack about how they were as YouTubers and that they were arrogant and that they were kind of cocky and they just weren't decent people.
And they are to an extent.
Right, but where's a better place to get that out than in the middle of the ring? And they both have the physical attributes. It seems as though they both have the mental drive to do it. This seems like, and you got to give them their props, this seems like a hell of a match made in heaven right here. I was very, very impressed with the brothers. Yeah.
Logan Paul is made for WWE. He really is. I think he's found his calling.
I think between the brothers, if you had to pick one to succeed in this business, Logan Paul easily, without a doubt, over Jake. Jake's doing his own thing, though. Jake's right now undefeated in boxing at the moment. So,
yeah, but like every match has some bullshittery around
of course,
it.
Yeah.
Like that Silva match there that happened.
Yeah.
But it hasn't stopped him. He's still doing it, so.
I mean, the pack. We talking about? Oh, no, we won't talk.
About what?
That's one of them in his other fight. You can see he's fighting, and then all of a sudden he goes like this.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, you hit me now?
Yeah. Well, until something comes out, we can't just jump the gun.
I understand. I just say what I have seen.
Which is fair, and we've all seen it. But I think out of the two brothers, Logan Paul, I think definitely would have fit the bill more in this business than Jake. He can talk. Unless he's talking to Sami Zayn, then he just can't stop laughing.
Nobody can. Nobody. Come on, that's not fair. He made Roman break.
That's just being as green as hell. Like,
being oozy.
He's very oozy.
Sammy got way oozy.
He's oozing oozy.
Now on the contrary, we know that we know that Logan Paul got hurt during this match as well, tore his meniscus, possibly his MCL and his ACL.
Similar to Seth Rollins' injury from 7 years ago.
Yes. So we probably won't be seeing Logan again in the ring. If we do, for a little while. Roman Reigns, on the other hand, Miz did it the last match, and Roman Reigns does what Miz did last time, and for the most part took care of Logan Paul, and on top of that made him look really good in this match. You got to give kudos to Roman Reigns in this one as well.
This proves Roman can, in fact, wrestle. For a long time, we dogged on him of not being able to be the person to carry a match. But I'll tell you what, this whole 2-year run he's had in God mode, greatness on a different level, it's absolutely correct. He has shunned all the doubters. I was a Roman doubter for a long time. I always did say I wanted to see him turn heel because I thought it'd be good, and I was right about that.
Everybody wanted that one.
We needed it.
He absolutely, through this whole stretch of not being pinned since December of 2020, I believe.
Yeah, he's going Brock Lesnar mode right now.
I think it was 19.
2019 is the whole dog food incident with Baron Corbin, I think, was the last time he got pinned.
Which is astonishing.
Since then, he has been the best professional wrestler. He really has. From promos to in-ring work, everything combined. Triple H was exactly correct, and no one's on his level right now.
Try and find somebody from the other brand that's on his level right now.
The only thing you can say is MJF, but the in-ring work isn't there. And comparing those two, MJF is a great professional wrestler, don't get me wrong, but when no one compares to everything Roman Reigns does right now, from the promo work to the character work to the in-ring stuff to his segments with anybody, Sami Zayn, Paul Heyman, the storylines he has going not only with Logan Paul right now, but you got to remember the Jey Uso thing is still hanging around in there. It's still being brought up. He's doing such a good job balancing everything about his character. And he's on a different level.
I want to bring out a point, and I see somebody in chat making this comment, which, by the way, guys, you can watch this live every Sunday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, over on twitch.tv/Rocky Mountain Pro. We are here live every Sunday night doing this recording and, of course, doing Dudes and Belts after hours as well. We're typically on here for about 2.5, 3 hours. Conductor Mike in chat, and I'll say his name, made a comment. Within 24 hours, the Logan Paul Frog Splash on Roman had over 37 million views. That, my friends, is exactly why they made the move on Logan Paul. Because Logan Paul,
mission accomplished.
Logan Paul creates views. And in this day and age, views are extremely important.
Fact.
It used to be butts and seats.
Correct.
Now it's eyeballs on YouTube. Eyeballs on TikTok is what it is. You don't necessarily have to be in the building anymore to make a difference to the economy of professional wrestling. It used to be you had to buy the live tickets. You had to go to the house shows. You had to go to the pay-per-views. Now it's you need to watch the premium live event on Peacock, be it within the first however many days they measure viewership from the time it airs live. Because you got to figure at this point, I'm not going to lie, I didn't watch it live. I was with Little Coastal at a trampoline park having a ball. When I got home, though, I watched the replay. And I think that's what it is now. It's how many times does this particular product get viewed within a week of it happening? And Logan Paul makes sure it happens a lot.
It had to start digressing this way, instead of the cable TV ratings only watching right now. That's not how a lot of entertainment works nowadays. It's entertainment on demand when you're ready. With all the platforms, you can go back and watch a VOD. You can go watch a video on somebody's website. Not everybody's buying all the pay-per-views. That's not the metric to have a standard buy anymore, like the cable rating or the pay-per-view buys. How many views over the course of a few days on YouTube, on TikTok? That's where they're hitting the next generation of superstars too. There'll always be people that watch on TV. There'll always be people that go to the show. But then pretty soon there's going to be the majority of the people that are only watching on social media. And that still counts. You still have to hit those people. And that's where you're exactly right. A young star like Logan Paul, who is a YouTube star in every sense of the word, gold play buttons and absolutely everything. He is going to be somebody that is going to bring your product, not just somewhere else on YouTube where it's going to get millions of views, but it's going to get in front of a whole different audience as well. That may not be cool with watching WWE and all wrestling silly. Wait, Logan Paul went over both of the Pauls were over there. I love watching that kid on YouTube.
Yeah.
What they did. And now you've created slowly a new wrestling fan, whether it's WWE, I don't care what, but you have more than likely a WWE fan, but you have created new wrestling fans just because that clip was shared on TikTok. That clip was shared in a tweet that some kid saw.
This is the evolution of what Johnny Knoxville did at WrestleMania this year with Sami Zayn. It's getting these people who aren't traditional wrestling fans to say, hey, I like watching these guys do stupid shit.
Exactly.
Let's watch them again. Also, WWE was ahead of the curve on this. Marky, do you remember back in 2018, I think, the first Mixed Match Challenge, when they did the mixed tag team matches?
Yeah.
That content was solely available on Facebook Live when
Correct.
Facebook first started. So we can say that pre-pandemic, WWE was kind of ahead of the curve with the social media stuff. It really is the wave of the future. RMP does it great with Twitch, as we're over on their channel every Sunday.
And they are ahead of the curves in terms of the independent wrestling scene. I'm pretty sure that they are still the only partnered independent wrestling show here on Twitch.
Absolutely.
Or channel, I should say, because their shows are on YouTube right now.
Exactly, but absolutely. The point I'm making here is Marky's right with these YouTube stars. We're going to see more of them that can hang, and Triple H is going to be very selective on the ones that he takes. But if he sees somebody who has got a buzz around them, who is a professional wrestling fan. And it really doesn't have to be if they can do something in chat, you know what I mean? Or not in chat. It doesn't if they do something in the ring. Take a look at maybe somebody who is a comedian or somebody who has a lot of followers but is a wrestling fan. You get them up there and they do a comedy bit in the ring with somebody, maybe with Sami Zayn. You can get a lot of views there. You're going to start seeing, I think, it was the Rock and Wrestling Connection back in the 80s when Hogan first started to do it. I think you're going to start seeing the social media influencers and wrestling connection coming up. I think you're going to start seeing a lot of musicians, a lot of actors. I wouldn't be surprised if you start seeing guest hosts of Raw again. Because there's just so much money to be made with exposure now on these social media platforms.
But I think less and less of it will be, to be honest, just personally, I think less and less of it will be movie and TV stars. More and more of it will be TikTok and YouTubers, TikTok influencers, YouTubers, famous.
You mean whatever the young kids are doing nowadays, old guy like me?
Yeah. It's what the kids are doing on the internet these days. You know, they're streaming all their stuff, they're sharing all their pictures, and I'm still sitting over here playing Nintendo. But no, it's the wave of the future, and they have to capitalize on that next generation. You can't just run a TV commercial anymore for your show, and everybody's going to show up. You need to put a YouTube channel out there. You need
to have a TikTok clip. You got to have a Vine. You got to have a Snapchat account.
Correct.
Is Vine?
And it's going to be important.
Does Vine really still exist?
No, it got absorbed kind of when TikTok happened because, like, Vine.
No, Vine turned into Musical.ly, and then Musical.ly turned into what is now kind of TikTok.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, for now, like, you're going to look at your big companies, like, oh, Queen, we already did our word of the day today. I'm sorry.
We will repeat it at Dudes and Belts After Hours.
Yes. We'll do it one more time.
I mean, you're going to have your big companies, and they're going to have to be on the, as I'm going to call it, maybe the big four. Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram.
Yes.
Snapchat is in there too, but if you notice, WWE has a presence on every one of them. Impact has a presence on every one of them. AEW is all over every one of those. AEW, I think, has utilized YouTube the best that I have seen any professional wrestling company utilize YouTube yet. With 2 weekly shows.
Yep.
That are on there all the time. And a lot of their clips are up there right after this stuff happens. And they have their wrestlers doing a lot of content on there. I really think that you're going to see a lot more of the Be the Elite style programming where you're going to be able to watch it on TikTok. You're going to be able to watch it on YouTube.
So like you're up, down, down.
Yeah, up, down. You're not going to have to tune into Raw every week to see these segments. They're going to mention them on Raw, so you're going to want to tune into wherever they're being on social media to see them. But I really think this is going to be big for a lot of people who can't talk that well in a promo. Like a Brock Lesnar, who is a good talker if you let him go. He can be funny, but he's not what you think of stereotypically as a talker. But he could put up 5 or 6 YouTube clips of just him like training and chopping wood and looking all badass, and that's going to get views from people who want to see what Brock is training.
That would just be the thing. It wouldn't even have to be anything special. It would be that little peer behind the curtain. You're not exactly breaking all of kayfabe, but you're seeing what you don't normally see out of some of these great superstars of any company. And it's going to becoming a thing. Not only will the shows, the independent companies, I should say, WWE, AEW, Impact, everybody start going forward on their own channels and their own social media outlets and such. But I think you're going to see individual wrestlers, male and female, and it's already begun. Just look at Danhausen. Watch a Danhausen vlog. You'll laugh your ass off. You'll see all the other stuff.
That's how he got signed.
Correct. It's like Zack Ryder of WWE and AEW. The internet got him over first, and everybody said this guy needs to get looked at, and then they got looked at and said, yeah, we kind of want this guy. Albeit on two totally different ends of the spectrum of Danhausen and Zack Ryder. But
Matt Cardona.
Or Matt Cardona.
Yeah.
It was Zack Ryder back in the day, but Matt Cardona. But no, it's going to be imperative that every one of these superstars, along with the companies, continue to do this, building your own brand, building yourself up, building the brand up while you're at it, and then everybody ends up winning. If you make one fan of you, whatever superstar you are, wherever you work, if you make one fan, you didn't just make a fan, the company also just made a fan. And that's what they want to see. They want to see the likes and follows. I think Vince was very, very foolish. I'm going to open this can of worms and we can discuss this. I think it was extremely foolish of Vince to have gone to some of his Twitch streamers and told them to stop or give him their money or however. That whole thing where they all kind of stopped. I think that was absolutely foolish of them to do that. It was building the brand. They were building themselves, but at the same time, they were known to be part of WWE. So it's not just like, oh, I made an Austin Creed fan, but Austin Creed hates WWE. Chances are that's not true because they talk about wrestling each other so much. They talk about on the Up, Up, Down show. Even if they're playing Uno and they're being jackasses like Adam Cole and Claudio and everybody together, like they're still talking about some of their wrestling stuff and their training and things. So you're not just getting people interested in these personalities. They're hearing about the wrestling. And even if you mold a fan into a wrestling fan, an Austin Creed fan into a wrestling fan, you've done your job. It can only go up. I think it was very foolish. Vince having control. You're right, Lucas, but it was extremely foolish. I feel it was it totally cut out some of these superstars' avenues for advancement. It totally cut out these guys trying to get themselves over and their friends and the whole company in general. Vince was very foolish about that. I don't think he understood.
I don't think it's so much foolish as he was disrespectful to fans and their mental capacity. Let's face it, wrestling in 2022 is not what it was in 1985.
No.
Kayfabe is very different. We all know there was pictures floating around the internet all over of Miro and Sheamus and Claudio at the wedding. And Drew McIntyre, they were all there. You had a mixture of companies.
They did the bar.
Yeah, you know, spoiler alert, everybody. People who work for different companies are friends. And they hang out. Vince McMahon wanted people to forget that and think that it never happened. And that's stupid. Because I'll tell you what, if, let's just go back in the time machine back to when everybody was on Twitch. If somebody from AEW was watching Kenny Omega on Adam Cole's Twitch channel and they see Adam Cole, they're going to go, where's he wrestling? Well, I want to watch him. And you have viewers. He kind of pissed in the punch bowl of a pretty decent revenue stream he could have got viewers from.
I think Vince was mad that Tyler Breeze was actually getting over on YouTube and couldn't get in the ring.
Well,
no, he was over in the ring, but he just didn't like how he was.
I know. I hate that. I don't want to see him. Cancel the channel.
Fandango, man. Fandango, main boy. We love you, Fandango.
Well, that got taken back. They're allowed to do Twitch stuff now, so
yes, which is smart.
Everything is back up and running. We're actually gonna cut this topic here, and we're gonna go right into our chat for the rest of the night. So for all you guys out there on the YouTube, we thank you so much for watching. As always, myself, Johnny Deathdrop, Coastal Crusader, and Marky Pins will be back next week for another topic of discussion right here on YouTube. Thank you, folks.